Aloha, aloha, aloha. Welcome back to Obsidian Mountain Raceway. We are 2 steps closer and halfway to the finals. This is round 3 of the Aloha Invitational Pro-Am Tournament. A lot of great teams have come and gone in the first 2 rounds. Out of the 32 teams that started the tournament, only 8 teams remain, and they all have what it takes, but only 4 of them are going to take it into the semifinals. They are now 3 races away from a podium finish. One team's going to be holding that championship trophy. It's team versus team, and all versus the most unforgiving mountain raceway. Let's go have a look at the matchups for tonight and get these teams racing into the semifinals. And kicking us off tonight, we got Rick's DIECAST Racing. Driver Racing Rick in his Honda Civic Type R and his teammate Sidekick Sandy in her Honda Prelude, taking on MN DIECAST Hot Wheels and Collectibles driver Moki in a 2015 Ford GT and her teammate Little Moki in a Ford Shelby GT 350R. Following them up, we'll have Milestone DIECAST Racing Team 2, led by Baby B in a Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy, and her teammate Mick Miles in a 2020 Jaguar F-Type, going up against Bathurst DIECAST Racing. Mr. Mojo leading his team in a Jaguar XJ220, his teammate Larry Mainline in a Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy. Battle of the Jaguars here, ladies and gentlemen. Our third matchup for tonight is going to be Po' Boy Racing. Po' Boy driving his Aston Martin Vantage and his teammate Lucky Jackson in the Aston Martin 177 are going up against Milestone DIECAST Racing, led by Shotgun Cowboy in a Corvette C6R and his teammate BK Miles in that C6 Corvette. And closing out round 3 tonight, we have Die Hard DIECAST Racing, led by Cut Rocker in a Nissan Leaf Nismo RC02, and his teammate Bert Buzzard driving that Nissan 300ZX. They're going to be taking on Numbskull Racing. Numbskull driving that Ferrari 288 GTO, and Num Jr. driving that Ferrari F50. It's go time, folks. Let's get them up to the top of the mountain and drop that green flag. We'll see them at the finish line. All right, here we go. Rick's DIECAST Racing on the inside. We got MN on the outside. Moki leading the MN team down. Rick's Racing in the lead now with both those Hondas going down Memorial Drive. Sidekick Sandy not far off the tail of Racing Rick, and they're going to take first and second for that first lap. And we get them back to the start for race 2. And we got Lil Moki up front on the outside of Racing Rick in that Honda Type R. They're even going down the divided straight into the first turn, but it's the Hondas that take the lead down the pipeline through the Calamity Corner. Oh, Little Moki just bought it in the guardrail on Memorial Drive, but manages to cross the finish line. And, ooh, wow, right there. Did a barrel roll in the air. Catches the guardrail right there. Spins it in the air. And a perfect landing. Well, almost perfect, but managed to stay on her wheels and get across that finish line. Same lineup as the last lap. Here we go, race 3. Down the divided straight. Little Moki took a little bit of a lead, but there goes Racing Rick being pushed by Sidekick Sandy through Calamity Corner, down Memorial Drive. Little Moki trying to make a move on Sidekick, but not able to pull it off. Tried to push their way around that Honda Prelude. You got to have a lot of push for that. All right, here we go. Sidekick Sandy coming in second. Now takes second position up front next to Racing Rick. Honda Prelude has a little bit of a lead there, but their Honda Type R through Calamity Corner, driven by Racing Rick, down Memorial Drive. Oh, and Little Moki just dived off the corner of Valley Turn. And let's see where they ended up. Back behind the high bank. And whee! Oh, that had to hurt. Gonna have to get the helicopter up to pull that car out. Yeah, sure, why not? One more time. Wow. Smacking, spinning, high diving off of the high banks. Alright, Racing Rick still up front. Sidekick Sandy on the outside, and it's MN in the chase position. Little Moki putting the push on. Blocks her Moki out in that Ford GT and leaves the Hondas all alone to cross the finish line. 1, 2, Little Moki 3, and Moki 4. And we got one more race to go, but it looks like Rick's DIECAST Racing will be the team moving on into the semifinals. And here they go one last time. Sidekick Sandy had the lead down the divided straight. Moki on the side of Sidekick Sandy. Sidekick just rolled over coming out of Calamity Corner. Might have had a little help from Little Moki, but Little Moki also bought it there too and does not have the roof to the sun. And there sits Sidekick Sandy, also in that same position. Let's see what happens here. Kind of got pinched between Little Moki and her own teammate Racing Rick, but as Racing Rick pulled up, Little Moki got underneath, but then lost it coming through the valley turn. And for sure, it's going to be Rick's DIECAST Racing moving on to the next round. And MN DIECAST Hot Wheels and Collectibles, that was some awesome racing to get you as far as you got. And hope to see you back at the mountain soon. Now we got Milestone DIECAST Racing. This is the Battle of the Jaguars between Baby B, Mick Miles, and Bathurst DIECAST, led by Mr. Mojo and his teammate Larry Mainline. And it's going to be Milestone out front with that I-Pace and then the F-Type, and Mr. Mojo coming in a quick third, followed by Larry Mainline. All right, taking up the same positions here. Milestone on the inside, Bathurst on the outside. Can that XJ 220 get in front of that I-Pace? It's giving him a good chase. Catching up to him down Memorial Drive. Got on his bumper, but couldn't get past him. Good fight there for first and second. Mr. Mojo needs to find that magic and get up on that I-Pace if they want to move on. And here they go again down the divided straight. Mojo has the lead in that first turn, but it's all Baby B going down Memorial Drive. Getting a little bumper sticker there from Mr. Mojo going across the finish line. But indeed, it is Baby B with another first place finish. And as the Beatles would say, second verse, same as the first. And here they go down the divided straight, now the pipeline into the Calamity Corner. Oh, and we just lost Larry Mainline going through Calamity Corner. Let's back up and see what happened to him. There he sits down in the valley turn. But all that happened up here. Right there, it gets pinched by Mr. Mojo. Got a little too high up on Calamity Corner. It's not really made to go two cars wide through that corner, as some drivers have come to find out. And Larry being the latest of those drivers. All right, Bathurst really needs to get up on these other pair of Jaguars, as Milestone is starting to take up a lead here. Mr. Mojo, oh, and I didn't see who we lost there. Lots of smashing and spinning going on there from Calamity Corner all the way down through Memorial Drive. And it looks like we lost Larry Mainline yet again. Here they come through Calamity Corner, and he flipped over coming through that first turn. Baby B getting some air and guardrail action, and then Mr. Mojo also, again, they were very fortunate to not flip those cars the way they were riding those guardrails. Final race for the Battle of the Jaguars. Nothing much has changed starting position-wise, but here they go. One last time, Mr. Mojo has that first lead, but Baby B takes over going down the pipeline, and now Memorial Drive. Mr. Mojo put on a big chase, but could not get up alongside. Nice finish time there for 5:17 for Baby B. And Milestone Diecast Racing Team 2 going through to the next round, 36-22. But Mr. Mojo, Bathurst Diecast Racing, always a pleasure to have you here at Obsidian Mountain Raceway. Hope to see you back soon at our next event. Now we got Po' Boy Racing and Milestone Diecast Racing, their Corvette team versus an Aston Martin team. Po' Boy's on the inside, but it's going to be Shotgun taking the lead down the divided straight. But now it's all Po' Boy going through Calamity Corner, down Memorial Drive, spins out through the valley turn, goes across the finish line backwards. And everybody makes it down. BK Miles in that C6 Corvette getting a little stylish there on that final straight. Spins it around to go across that finish line. And we got Po' Boy still up front. And Shotgun on the outside, but it's Po' Boy down the pipeline through Calamity Corner. Oh, I don't know who we just lost back there, but it sounded bad. As we got Po' Boy and Shotgun both crossing the finish line, neither one of their teammates making it to the line, and that would be why. Oh, Lucky Jackson got up on that Lord's Racing League sign, flipped over, landed on top of BK Miles, flipped him over, and they both end up without their roof to the sun in that Calamity Corner. All right, here we go. Starting down the divided straight. Po' Boy and Shotgun up front. Shotgun takes the jump on that divided straight, but it's Po' Boy by the time they get down to the pipeline through the Memorial Drive. Made it clean through Calamity Corner, and wow, that was a nice second, third place battle between Lucky and Shotgun. But it's going to be Shotgun that wins that one for second place. Maintaining the same lineup. Milestone needs to get ahead of these Aston Martins if they're going to have any chance of moving to the next round. But oh, it was both Aston Martins in first and second, but Shotgun, Lucky caught the guardrail, and Shotgun gave him a bump, and he went flying. And then, I don't know what happened to BK. Right there is where Lucky got up into the guardrail, all the way up on the top guardrail, too. Couldn't land it. Would have been nice if he did. And then BK just comes in too low, catches that bottom corner of Calamity Corner, the bottom curb, and flips it over and takes a slide down Memorial Drive. Think that might have closed things up a little bit. All right, here we go. Lineup still hasn't changed, so we got Po' Boy and Lucky in the inside. Shotgun and BK on the outside. Shotgun gets the jump, but it's Po' Boy all the way down through Calamity Corner. Oh, and he hits the guardrail, wipes out. Oh, no. Oh, we got a quadruple DNF. Wow. Chain reaction all started by Po' Boy coming through Calamity Corner. Well, actually, BK lost it right there coming out of Calamity Corner. And right there is where Po' Boy loses it on Memorial Drive. Shotgun goes sideways, blocks out Lucky. Po' Boy's upside down now, and here comes Shotgun, smashes him off the track, and not enough momentum to get through to that finish line. So, race 5, do-over. Here we go. Shotgun Cowboy takes that lead down the divided straight, but there goes Po' Boy through Calamity Corner. He's got it clean this time down Memorial Drive, and he's already across that finish line well ahead of the rest of the pack, but everybody else did cross that time. Po' Boy with consecutive wins there. In the last race right here for this group, looks like Po' Boy Racing is going to go through, but you never can tell as they go down the pipeline into Calamity Corner. Oh, and there goes Lucky. He just flipped it going down Memorial Drive. And Shotgun managed to cross the line, but BK flipped it and gets stuck behind Lucky. Everybody makes it through Calamity Corner, no problem. Po' Boy takes a little bounce off of the guardrail, and right there is where BK loses it going down Memorial Drive. Got perpendicular with that guardrail and just slides it in right there behind Lucky. And that looked like a lot closer than the points say, but it is going to be Po' Boy Racing going into the semifinals. And Milestone DIECAST, you built some hellacious good cars, and I do hope to see you back at the OMR real soon. All right, here is our final matchup of the night. Die Hard DIECAST, led by Cut Rocker and his buddy Burt Buzzard on the inside of Numbskull and Numbskull Jr. in those awesome Ferraris. Whoa, and we just lost Burt right there. The Buzz has flipped it, and it's going to be Cut Rocker, Numbskull, and Numb Jr. getting across the finish line. And old Buzz taking a rest there underneath the tunnel in Calamity Corner. Oh, and another hit for the Lord's Racing League sign. And there he goes upside down, spinning through the tunnel on his roof. And it's funny, I'd moved the Chaos or the Skyway sign back because it had been taking a pounding throughout this tournament. So now they're starting to pick on Lord's Racing League. All right, we got Cut Rocker up front and Numbskull next to him, Numb Jr. and Buzz in the back. And there goes Cut Rocker down the pipeline through Calamity Corner, has it clean, and we just lost Numb Jr. as it's going to be Cut Rocker, Numbskull, and Buzz crossing the line. And let's go have a look. There's Numb Jr. That must have been a heck of a slide. So he loses it right there. That low corner is not a place for cars to be coming through Calamity Corner that fast. And he flips it and takes a slide down Memorial Drive. All right, Die Hard DIECAST back on the inside. Numbskull Racing on the outside. It's Mark D. Cut Rocker taking the lead through that first pipeline down Calamity Corner, already through the valley turn, and we just lost Buzz again. Didn't quite see where he wiped out, so let's take a look. Oh, right there. Numb Jr. gets up underneath him as he goes sideways, and that's all over. Pancake. Slide that pancake down Memorial Drive and throw a little syrup on it. Cut Rocker still up front. Numbskull on the outside. And here they go. Numbskull had a little bit of a lead there. And now it's both the Ferraris fighting it out for second and third. Cut Rocker got spun around there on Memorial Drive, but maintains control and gets across the finish line. And we got us a battle here, folks. So Great drivers, great builders, and I do love those Ferraris. I think it's the yellow, but I also love Ferraris. But yellow Ferraris are just doing something. But right now it's Cut Rocker doing something as he's got the lead down Memorial Drive through the valley turn, and Buzz just wipes out again. Maybe Buzz has a buzz. Don't know if they allow him to drink in the garage. Oh, and he smacked straight into that guardrail edging. That had to hurt. Wonder how that windshield tasted. All right, here we go for the final race of the group and the night. And it's Numbskull with that first lead, but it's Cut Rocker leading them down the pipeline through Calamity Corners. Got a good line through the inside of Valley Turn, and they all make it across the finish line. And wow, that is close. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's a first. We have us a tie, folks. Wow. 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 Once again, history is made here at Obsidian Mountain Raceway. It was highly problematic given this tournament's formats, but you're seeing it for yourself. We have a tie at 28 all between Numbskull Racing and DIECAST Racing. An epic battle between these two teams, and it's not over yet. It don't get no better than that. So here's how we're going to break the tie. All four cars are going to race 3 alternating laps. The first 2 laps, the team cars with the fastest time of those 2 laps will get the inside lane on the 3rd lap. Keeping with the format, they will be getting points for their finishing positions. The team with the most points at the end of this tiebreaker is going on to the semifinals. All right, fuel tank's been topped off, so let's get them back to the starting line and find out who's racing in to the Aloha Invitational semifinals. All right, here we go. We got DIECAST on the inside. Cut Rocker had the faster time over Numbskull, so they get the inside first. Numbskull with that jump from the start, but it's Cut Rocker leading them down through the valley turn and across that finish line. Lickety split just like that in a 5:18 for that lap. Let's switch lanes and see what Numbskull and Numbskull Racing can do with that inside lane and those gorgeous Ferraris. And they're dead even down that divided straight, but there goes Numbskull taking the lead. Numb Jr. throws a block on Cut Rocker, holds him back in 3rd, and it's going to be a 1-2 finish for Numbskull Racing. Almost completely opposite there. I hope we don't end up with another tie. That would be incredibly crazy. But I'd expect anything out of these two teams. All right, Cut Rocker had the fastest time, so he's taking the lead on the inside. Oh, and Numbskull just wiped out. Cut Rocker's across the line. Here comes Buzz. Just made it across the line with a brake lock there. Neither one of the Numbskull drivers made it across the line, and that's a shame. That's a hell of a way to end that tiebreaker. And there goes Numbskull taking the slide of his life down Memorial Drive. Comes to a stop there on the final straight as Buzz just manages to get by. And there you have it, folks. Wow, what an awesome battle between these two teams. Went into a tiebreaker. Cut Rocker and DIECAST Racing able to pull it out. If it wasn't for that last wipeout, I think we might have gone into another tiebreaker. Wouldn't that have been something? All right, so your team's moving on. Rick's DIECAST Racing in those Hondas. We got Milestone DIECAST Racing, Baby B and Mick Miles in those dangerous Jaguars. We got Pull Boy Racing moving on to the semifinals in those awesome yellow Aston Martins. And Pull Boy still will hold that fastest qualifying time for a while. So I haven't seen anybody else approach that sub 5 yet. And the final team making it in to the semifinals is DIECAST Racing, Cut Rocker, and Burt Buzzard, aka Buzz. And we got 4 teams going into the semifinals, so we'll get the semifinals and the finals all in our next race, our next feature broadcast. And I didn't get to properly thank Numbskull. That was some awesome racing, some great builds. Love those Ferraris. And I do hope to see you back at Obsidian Mountain Raceway soon, soon, soon. To all the drivers that are sitting in the bleachers watching the rest of the race, and to the ones moving on to the semifinals, I just want to continue to thank you for your participation, for your support, and for the builds. Incredible racing, incredible action, and I couldn't do it without you. Until the next race, keep your roof to the sun. Aloha.